Point you, Madeline is feeding the white elephant. I am from StopHS2, though. StopHS2, the original home of the white elephant. So, StopHS2, our logo, no business case, no environmental case, no money to pay for it. We're quite a complicated campaign. We've got 100 local action groups up and down the line of HS2, 3 national organisations. It's a challenge to hold everything together. Particularly, this is a very high-speed line, 400 kilometres an hour, and so it's very environmentally destructive, and that annoys many people. Here you can see the line, London in the south, Birmingham in the middle, Leeds and Manchester in the north. And it passes through very wealthy and well-off areas. Many landowners and middle-class people are opposing the line. Because of that, we have to remain non-political in order to hold everyone together. This is the biggest infrastructure project in Britain for over a century. £44 billion, £2,000 for every household in the country. A useless mega project. This really is big. How are we doing? We've actually had some good news recently. Some government agencies that are there to scrutinise what government is doing have been very, very critical of HS2, and government is busy trying to stitch it together after these criticisms. And we've had more good news. Good news for us at any rate, in that the cost of HS2 has just risen by £10 billion from one day to the next last month, on the same day that the government announced 11 billion of austerity cuts in state spending. So, we're winning the professional war. There's few academics who support HS2. We're winning the media war. Most national newspapers are now sceptical about HS2. We're winning the political war in private. MPs tell us privately they don't support it, but they publicly support it. Why do they publicly support it? That's what we need to know. We need to know what they're really thinking and recognising that there may be a difference between what they actually say and what lies behind the rhetoric. So what are they thinking, and how are we trying to respond to that? So firstly, what they're saying, HS2 is an engine for growth, a magic bullet which will solve all problems. But of course it isn't. New rail links mostly redistribute rather than create jobs. Every new job that the government thinks would be created by HS2 would cost £400,000. Secondly, they say there's a capacity crunch, a lack of capacity on the rail network. That's not true. To the extent that we need more capacity, we can improve the existing network better and quicker. The real capacity issue is on London suburban computer services, not the intercity lines. Thirdly, they say HS2 will help bridge the divide between the prosperous south and the struggling north. It won't. We all know that it will help the biggest city most, and the biggest city is, of course, London. And what the north needs is local links, not to be more firmly connected to London. And fourthly, what they say is that investing in infrastructure will kickstart growth after the economic crisis. But what that needs is projects that are ready to go now, not one that's going to be finished in 2032. And of course, many smaller infrastructure projects would be much better than this one mega one. But are these really what's driving the politicians? What are their more hidden agendas? And in a minute you'll say we see there's 4 of them, but you're only going to get 3 of them. So in a minute coming up is the first hidden agenda, and it's a political vanity project. Politicians like to be associated with this kind of thing, don't they? But in fact, who really wants to be associated with a ruinously expensive white elephant? Surely not. And that argument is starting to get across and starting to have a bit of bite. Second hidden agenda, this would bring work and super profits for the big construction firms, the big ones. Whereas, of course, many smaller investment projects would spread the profits and the jobs, of course, much more widely. But we feel this is very much in the minds of our leading politicians. The last one here, Birmingham may be being thought of as the new London runway. The argument may be about planes, not about trains, but it's still about mega projects. We don't really believe that would work, but the point is, we think we need to counter both the explicit and those hidden agendas if we're to get our case across. And we've been going at this for 3 years now, and of course we have to look ahead, and looking ahead, the next 2 years are going to be crucial for us. We have, of course, European elections in 2014, and two of our minor parties, one very much on the right and one, the Greens, the other the Greens, both oppose HS2, and if they do well, that would be helpful. Then, of course, we have the general election coming up in 2015, and the real question for us is going to be who's going to win that election, and are they going to be going with us to stop HS2, because it's got no business case, no environmental case, and there's no money to pay for it. Thank you very much.